Learning Leadership Conference. My name is Ricardo Morales, and I'm the Academic Services Manager at Cambridge University Press, Mexico. I will be your host for today's session with Alejandra Prado. Before I introduce the session today, I just have a few points to cover off. If you have a question for Alejandra, please place it in the Q&A box, not in the chat, and we will try and answer as many as we can at the end of the session. PowerPoint slides will not be shared, but we will be recording the session for you to view again later this week on or on our YouTube channel. If you responded to the invite for this event, you will be sent an email after the event has finished containing a certificate of attendance plus links to the session recordings. So without further ado, I'm pleased to welcome Alejandra Prado, who will be talking to us today about Universidad del Valle de Mexico. Alejandra works as the Director for Languages for Universidad del Valle de Mexico, UVM, a position in which she focuses on constant quality improvement and academic administration of language programs. One of the examples of this is the design of the BUS Blended Undergraduate Strategy, a program which is currently implemented in the university. Alejandra holds degrees in pedagogy and in English language teaching, as well as master's degree in administration with a specialization in education. She also holds international language certifications and has over 20 years of experience in ELT. Alejandra has been working at UVM for over 10 years, serving in different positions such as teacher, language coordinator, and institutional English coordinator as part of the UVM Languages Corporate team. Her main activities in the position involve administration, design, and logistics with UVM bicultural high school program and language coordinators training. Before UVM, Alejandra worked as an English teacher for the Anglo-American Foundation. She has participated in the teacher's diploma and served as an observer and mentor for trainees. So over to you, Ale.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. I'm going to share my screen. So can you just confirm that you can see my screen okay?
Yes, we can see it okay. Thank you, Ale.
So thank you very much for the invitation. What we are going to be covering today is a brief introduction to UVM, which is our learning and teaching context. How did we implement the program and the status of the program right now in the institution? So Universidad del Valle de Mexico, UVM, is one of the largest private universities in Mexico. It was founded in 1960. We have 32 campuses. We teach 2 foreign languages, English and French. We have 31 language coordinators, 1 per campus. We have over 500 teachers, not only English, but also French. And every term we have around 50,000 students enrolled in the language program, not only for the undergraduate program, but also for high school. So when we were thinking about the idea for BUS, we took different things into consideration. The first one was that when long time ago, UVM didn't have a well-established language program. I mean, there were no clear objectives. We only had or received product training. So it was not until year 2000 when we became part of laureate universities, when we had like a better or clearer path to follow. We had an implementation of a new program. We also had very clear objectives and also standards that we need to fulfill in order to have a successful program. And we had been working for that for over 10 years. So it was time for a change. So we thought also about taking into consideration our students' skills, so to take advantage of them. And we thought about a blended program that will let students have better learning opportunities Also, we wanted a program that was exactly or looked the same in the north and in the south part of the country. We also wanted a program that will align to our institutional policies and also to our educational premise, that is like forming globalized students and citizens that could succeed professionally speaking in different settings, not only in social ones. That's how we created BOSS. BOSS is the Blended Undergraduate Strategy. That's the name of our program, and it's 2020 because that's the year in which we implemented it. So as you can see in this diagram, our students work 1 hour before their class. This is based a little bit on our flipped methodology. And they work 1 hour in an online environment. They do some activities in the LMS, in the CLMS. Then they move forward to face-to-face classes. Of course, right now, because of the pandemic, they became, and because we are working in an online environment, they became synchronous lessons. Then they move again to an online environment where they are going to fulfill different activities, again, before a face-to-face or a synchronous lesson. And the focus of the synchronous lessons is to help our students develop communicative skills and to make them a little bit more confident of what they can do with the English. We need lots of support for this program, not only language coordinators or the languages team, but also we need everybody in the institution to come on board, so for this program to be successful. The program implementation, it's not only about development of the methodology, clear objectives, not only for the program, but also for every day's lesson. We have a very clear teachers and students profile, and of course it comes to the material selection. Okay, and I think one of the most important parts of the implementation is to socialize this program with every stakeholder. Everybody needs to be on board, as I was telling before, so that they can participate, help you, and support what you are trying to do. It's not only the academic team, but also the administrative team in the institution, so that everybody can work from their position to make this program successful. Training, not only for teachers and coordinators, but a little bit to students, is vital, so that everybody knows their role within the model. For example, we created different, together with Cambridge, different tools that will help us socialize the program. So it's not only the implementation, but also the follow-up. So there's where we are now in the follow-up of our program. So what we are doing right now are intensive class observations. We are having also feedback sessions, and we're taking that input into consideration to create training sessions that will help our teachers and coordinators move forward to the objective that we have designed for this program. And of course, languages can never be static, they need to move. So we are also doing constant revisions for the daily lesson plans to see what is working, what is not, to modify and to adapt what needs to be adapted. So far, we are very proud to say that 90% of our learners are actively working on the CLMS from week 2. That means the second week once the program has started. Our lessons have become more communicative, and when you get into a class where the teacher is aligned to the program, you can see that students are gaining lots of confidence to produce. So those are very good news for us. If I had to give some advice on how to implement a program, I will tell you the first thing is to engage and motivate everybody. You need everybody to come on board with you and with the idea that you are proposing. You need a team, people, and of course a partner to work with that you can trust. Okay, you need also a very clear plan and steps to follow, but you also need to be flexible and to adapt and adequate the plan as it comes to. Okay, and also we'll have a little bit of faith and patience. That patience, I think it's the key. So this year, because of the pandemic, demanded lots of extraordinary actions. And one of it was, and it was also the best setting for us to prove that our program was a strong one, because it was easily adapted to a complete online environment. So it has been a very nice experience for us to be working with Cambridge and with the BUS program. So thank you very much. And here are my contact information, Ricardo. So I don't know if we have any questions.
Yeah, I think some questions would be coming, Ale. Thank you very much. I see that we have a bit of time. I wanted to ask you, I know this have been some questions that we had in other sessions. Which would you say have been the main challenges in the implementation for the program?
I think teachers' reluctancy to follow the program, that has been the biggest challenge for us. I mean, to have teachers come on board with us and with the idea, because you know that that they are used to doing their thing in the classroom. So moving them from their comfort zone it was hard.
Okay, I see. We have questions are coming right now, Ale. And one of them is from Leon. He says, "Hi, Ale, great presentation. What were the main blockers you faced?" I think that's an interesting one.
It's a very interesting one. Well, some of the people involved in the program, after receiving training, after being exposed to the idea, were not really putting it into practice. So the people who you thought that were going to come on board with you were the ones that were trying to make things a little bit more complicated, because they were not used to having standardized actions to follow.
Okay, so once there was standardization, it became less of a blocker then.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. We have another question from Juan Carlos Portillo. He says, what would be the conditions for an institution to consider a program like this? Not an easy task, right?
No. I think that there are many things that you have to take into consideration before implementing one of these programs. But first of all, I think is the willingness of the institution and the stakeholders to move to a new way of working. And of course, it's a challenge, but once you start seeing the results with the students, I can tell that you can get lots of satisfaction from doing something and thinking out of the box, and moving away from the traditional way of thinking. I believe that's a rewarding also factor.
Okay. That's really interesting. And now that you speak about students, there's one question from Cruz and a comment. He says, "Great presentation." And how have students accepted or get used to this new program? What's the students' reaction?
It was shocking for them, because now they have to be very disciplined for to fulfill the activities they have to fulfill prior their face-to-face lesson. So it has not been easy. They think that now the teacher is not working, but they are doing all the work on their own, which is not true. We all know that's not true, but that's their feeling. And we have been pushing very hard for them to fulfill the activities before the lesson, but they also have noticed that if they don't do this work beforehand, they will have lots of issues trying to communicate in the face-to-face or the synchronous session. So I think that little by little they are understanding. You can see a huge difference from level 1 to level 4. I mean, in level 4 students in the first week, they are already doing their tasks and everything. So they learned the hard way, but they learned.
Okay, all right, there's learning. Okay, we have two more questions. I'm aware of time. Marta Escobar says, as you said, teachers were not sure to follow the new program. Are they happy for the results now? Would you say, maybe happy is not the word, but would you feel that there's the satisfaction from teachers and happiness, of course?
I think that they can, that when they follow the program and they can see that their students are really communicating and they seem a little bit more confident in the classroom, I think that there's when they say like, yes, it works. And once we observe and we give them feedback and we tell them about the difference with their previous way of teaching and with the current way of teaching, it's also enlightening for them probably. So they can tell the difference, and we can see that also.
Okay, all right. I think we have time for one more question, and here it is. It's from Juan. Is there something that you missed when you moved to a program like this from 100% synchronous program? Is there anything that you missed?
I think there are many things that we missed as a languages corporate team. I mean, we when we thought things were going to move smoothly, they did not, and there's where we I mean, I couldn't have done this on my own. I have a very strong languages team and huge support from Cambridge, of course. But what we missed was that we never thought that the languages team in campus was the one that was going to make a little bit things a little bit more complicated than we expected to.
Okay, so those are where aspects you didn't expect. Okay, well, we are running out of time. We could spend some more time talking and talking. I'm sure there would be more opportunities to talk about all the programs that you have been implementing, and I'm sure people and participants will have more options and more opportunities to hear how the program will advance. But for the time being, Alejandra, I really want to thank you for this brilliant session. And thank you to all of you who have joined this customer experience regarding UVM. We hope you can join us for the next sessions, which are part of the Better Learning Conference in the upcoming days. Please also remember that we have a networking sessions each day, and it would be great to meet you and chat more there. Thank you very much, Alejandra. Thank you very much to all participants, and thank you.
Thank you very
Bye.
much, Ricardo. Thank you. Bye-bye.